So we've done a little bit of rearranging equations when we have put our point and our gradient into the equation line and rewritten it so it says y equals. Sometimes they give us an equation that isn't in that form. Sometimes they give it in a form that looks like this. All right. That is still an equation of a line because it has an x and a y. That makes it an equation of a line on a graph somewhere. We don't know how to draw that graph. We haven't learned how to draw the graph. And we don't know what the y-intercept is, and we don't know what the gradient is. All we know is that it's an equation of a line. So we want to rewrite it in the form that we're used to, that y equals form. So we need to know how to do that. So the first thing we do is we're going to get rid of the 5x and put it on this side. So over here, it's a positive 5x. Over here, it will be a negative 5x. So our first line is going to say 2y equals, and it always goes behind. It's like the queue at the canteen. When you arrive, you don't go to the front. If you change lines, you don't go to the front, you go to the back. Same with equations. When you change sides, you go to the back. All right, so here we have 2y equals this. We actually would like the x to be first because that's where we're used to finding it. So I'm actually going to write it in front like negative 5x plus 8. All right, so I've got now my y, my x, and my y-intercept, but it's not right yet. And that's because I need this to be y. How do I get this to be y? What do I do to 2y to make it into a y? Divide by 2. All right? So if I divide by 2, everything, then I get y here, negative 5 over 2, which I can leave like that. That's a gradient. And 4, which is my y-intercept. At the moment, I am particularly interested in this because if my question said, find the line parallel to 3y plus 7x minus 2 equals 0 through negative 1, 2. All right. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that line looks like. I know where that point is. I don't need to draw a picture of it. I just need to work through the steps. So my first step is to find the line parallel, I need to know what the gradient is of this point so that I have the gradient of my new line. So, doing exactly the same process as I did there. 3y plus 7x minus 2 equals 0. Keep the y. Move everything onto the other side and change its sign. So plus 7x minus 7x minus 2 plus 2. Okay? Now I need to get rid of the 3. Y equals negative 7 over 3, x plus 2 over 3. That equation there is exactly the same line as this equation here. And this equation here. All right? They're all the same line, just different ways of writing it. But why we like this one is because here is the gradient. So I know the gradient of this line is negative 7 over 3. That means the gradient of my new line is also negative 7 over 3. This time, though, I've got a point that I need to go through. So we were practicing equations of a line, given a gradient and a point. Here we go. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1 This is our x1, this is our y1. So we've got y minus 2 equals, here's the gradient that we just found, 7 over 3x minus negative 1. All right? So this is our new line, but we need to make it into a better form with only y equals. So we go through that process again. Y minus 2 equals negative 7 over 3x minus, plus times a negative is a negative, 7 over 3. So y equals negative 7 over 3x minus 7 over 3. It's a minus 2 here, so it becomes a plus 2 over here. We might need our calculator to be able to work that part out. So we put it in our calculator, negative 7 over 3 plus 2, and we will get, that is 2 and 2/3, so we're going to get minus 1/3 from our calculator. And we're going to leave it like that. So that whole thing has gained us probably a tick for finding the gradient, probably a tick for recognising that the new gradient is the same value, maybe another tick for this, or it could get us a mark towards merit. Just depends on how that's questioned. That's what we're going to practice today.